This is a podcast of 98FM's Dublin Talks. Remember, catch the show live Monday to Friday at 10 a.m.
98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
98FM. Now, several families in a Dublin flat complex are living in fear. Now, this isn't fear of antisocial behaviour, it's fear over an infestation in the apartments. Two of those residents are Amy and Aisling, and they join us now on 98FM. Good morning, girls. How are you?
How are you?
Thanks a million for talking to us on the show. Now, first of all, Amy, tell me what's happening in your apartment complex. First of all, it's on Blessington Street, isn't that right?
It is, yes. It's on Blessington Street. We live in Georgian houses, but we're having awful issues with different things. But now, the past week, we have rats. Now, me personally, I live at the top, and I have found 3 so far. I've caught 3 so far.
Okay, now just to set the scene here, Blessington Street is, of course, it's just off the Mater Hospital there, not too far from the Mater Hospital. They're large Georgian houses that I assume have been converted into flats, is it?
Into council, yes, the Dublin City Council flats. That's right.
Okay, so they're Dublin City Council flats. In the block in which you live in, how many separate flats are in there?
There's 4 of us.
Okay, 4. So both yourself and Aisling both live in the same block, is that correct?
No, she lives 2 buildings away.
Okay, so it's happening not just in your building, it's happening...
Not just in my building, no, not just in my building. See, we didn't know this, and when I caught the first one the other day, Aisling had said to me she's been hearing noises. We just thought it was the wind because of the windows and how bad they are, and with the wind, we just thought all the noises were just the wind. But I put traps down because I opened up my hot press and I had seen droppings, and I said, oh God, that has to be so, so we got a rat trap, and within an hour I put the rat trap down, and I actually put mice traps down as well just to see, and I put peanut butter on them, and within an hour one was caught, and then overnight then another one was caught.
Now, for anybody who's ever had to live in a house that is infested with... And these are rats as opposed to mice.
These are rats, because I had the HSE out with me on Friday as well. And he came in, and because I'm at the top of the building, and the buildings are so bad, they're just wooden structures, and behind my kitchen, there's just no wall. I had to pull my kitchen press out, and there's just pipes. There's no insulation, there's nothing.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Who's living in the flat with you, Amy? Hello?
Sorry for a sec. No, me and my 3 kids
is
living in.
Now, your youngest is a 10-month-old baby, is that correct?
Yes, my youngest is 10 months.
So that must be quite shocking for you and nerve-wracking that you have because obviously a 10-month-old baby, they're starting to...
She's crawling the floors.
She's crawling, of course. She's crawling around the floors, and you're living in a place that's infested with rats.
Yes, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Now, you've been living there, you've been living there for about 6 years.
7 years.
Or 7 years.
7 years now,
Is this the first time you've had a problem with rats?
Oh, yeah, with rats itself, yeah.
So you contacted the HSE and you contacted the council as well.
I contacted the council, and they contacted the HSE because they said that if it's rats, the HSE has to come out. So the HSE came out on Friday, and he inspected the whole back of it. And he said the buildings are so bad now. He's seen the droppings and the picture I showed him of what I caught, and he said it's definitely rats.
So are they going to get you out of there, or are they going to leave you there? What's going to happen now?
I have no idea.
What would you like to happen? Are you happy enough to stay there if they sort out this problem?
I just want my place done. I just want them to come in and fix up what needs to be fixed up.
I mean, I'm looking at one of the photographs that you took on the floor there, and you can see the rat droppings there. It's absolutely
horrific.
Filthy. What size are these rats that are running around your house?
Bigger than the rat traps.
Sorry, bigger than the rat trap?
Bigger than the rat traps.
Oh my! How do you even sleep at night?
I'm not. I had to up and take the kids out. I have 2 other kids. I have 2 boys, 12-year-old and 9-year-old. My 12-year-old just won't. He won't come home. He just won't come home.
And how does that make you feel?
Horrible. He's in 4th year in secondary school now, and he just won't come home. And I don't blame him.
This is the last thing that he needs going on.
Absolutely.
On in his life.
It's horrible. My 10-month-old, she's crawling the floors now. You know, when I went down to the council, they're not doing they should. I have a leak in my ceiling, and when it rains, I have a baby back underneath it to catch the rain. That's going on since July.
That's a long time to be living with that.
It's horrible. I've duct tape around my window to stop the breeze coming in. And as I said, I live in these buildings, and I'm up the very top, so the breeze is just ripping through the whole flat. It's horrible.
It sounds like you're living in squalor. That's what it sounds like.
Absolutely. I'd love somebody to come out and just look at the way I'm living. It's horrible.
And where's your 12-year-old staying?
He's up in my mum's.
That's a nightmare and a mess for you, isn't it?
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. He won't come home. Like, he came home this morning for a change of clothes, and then he just wanted to go. I can't stay here, he said. I just can't.
I wouldn't be able to do it myself.
Well, me personally, I had to stay in my mum's, didn't I? But I have no choice but to come home. It's my home. I've no choice. I've nowhere else to go. And I'm not listening.
And are you keeping your baby off the ground? I presume the baby isn't...
100%. I've scalded the floors. I've bleached the floors. I've sprayed everything. I've done everything. She's just not... She can't get on the floor. Obviously, she can't. And
how many bedrooms are in your flat?
2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms. Is your baby in with you at the moment still?
She's in with me, yeah. She's in with me.
Is she sleeping in the... I'm worried about the safety of her. Is she in a cot at the moment, or what?
Sure, I'm not sleeping here. I had to leave.
Oh, really? You're not sleeping there at all?
No, I can't sleep here. So I have to go up to my mum's then and then. But I can't stay in my mum's all the time. You know what I mean? It's just not... She's so many up there as well, and then with my son then up there as well. Like, it's just not on. So I've no choice but to come home today. I had to come home today. I've other people out having a look now, and they're after saying, like, the places are disgraceful.
It sounds like you're heartbroken by this.
Absolutely. Of course I am. It's my home. It's my kids.
Stay there for a second, please, Amy. And Aisling, I'll come to you as well. Aisling lives in a different block on the same road. We're talking to the residents of the Blessington Street flats in Dublin 7 there, up near the, you'll know the road, it's up near the Mater Hospital. And, well, you heard it there. Her own son will not sleep in the house because of the rat infestation. If you have any advice for these ladies. Now, Amy, the good news is, if you stay there for a second, we do have some advice for you and hopefully some help for you. But it sounds, from talking to you, it sounds like you're at wit's end, are you?
Oh, 100%. With everything else that's been happening the past couple of months, and now this is just the top of it. Like, I've just had it now. I was actually going to go down and hand my keys back in Alger today. I just had enough. I'm exhausted from it all. I haven't slept in a week. I'm just fed up.
And during the day, I assume you're eating in the house during the day, are you?
No, I wouldn't. I won't make anything in the house now. No, not at all.
Okay, so you're not sleeping in the house. You're not eating in the house. Are you even staying there?
I'm coming back to do. I wash my clothes, clothes, and that's about it. Tidy up, clean up, make sure that there's bleach down on the floors, make sure the whole floors are cleaned out, and check the traps, and then I'm gone again.
Now, Aisling, you're living in one of the other flats in a different block on Blessington Street, and you're going through the same problems as well.
Exact same problems, Amy. It's a disgrace. We are living in squalor. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm only here 2.5 years and I just can't deal with it no more. I'm stressed out. I'm worn out. My 5-year-old won't even come back to the house, Jeremy. We were up there the other day. I went up to check the traps or whatever, and she literally sat in our bedroom with our door closed and wouldn't come over until I was gone. Then the following day I had to come back up, check around, do what you do, and she wouldn't even come up. She literally sat down in my mask.
Okay, what's your situation, Aisling? How many bedrooms are in your flat?
I have a 2-bedroom,
so
two kids. My youngest is 11 months yesterday, and my eldest is 5. She's in school or whatever. And 2-bedroom, same, found 2 rats since I put the traps down. I actually heard all the scratching or whatever in the flat. Then Amy was telling me that she caught a yolk rat, we've seen it or whatever. I literally took me, I was hysterical. Amy had to come down to me. I had to take my kids out of bed at 11:45 at night, take them out of bed, get a taxi down to my ma's, and I'm in my ma's since. I cannot even stomach that flat.
Now, the two of you, as you said, two of you have toddlers in the house. This is something you shouldn't have to worry about, after giving birth only less than a year ago. And you said that you're at wit's end as well. Because
I am at with them telling me. I rang the corporation this morning and I explained everything to them, and I don't know, they're saying that they'll fill in a few gaps here and there, but it's an infection. You can hear it in the rooms, you can hear it in bathrooms, you can hear it in halls. It's everywhere. It's disgraceful. Like, I just want to be able to go home with my kids, but how can you bring them back to that? My 5-year-old won't even come home.
Well, you can't.
Exactly.
And what has to happen then before action is taken? Because, I can't imagine this situation getting any worse. I mean, God forbid if your child was asleep in the flat and one of the rats got into the cot or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I said to them, because my mate only lives in a 1-bedroom, she only has a single bed in her room, like, you know what I mean? She's actually sleeping in the bed with my 5-year-old. I'm actually sleeping on a chair at the moment. She's sleeping in the single bed with my 5-year-old. My ma has infantemia on her lung. She's not well at all. My little young one is in the cot then. It's only a 1-bedroom. I told them that I need to be put up until they sort this problem out, and basically they told me they've nowhere for us. They've nowhere to rehouse you? No, they've nowhere for us. They've nowhere to put us up until they get to the root of this problem.
So again, you're living in squalor as well?
Squalor. I'm living in squalor, Jeremy. I'm not joking.
Stay there for a second, please, Aisling. That's Aisling and Amy, two residents of the flats in Dublin city centre, just off Blessington Street. Both flats, according to them, are infested with rats. I'm looking at one of the photographs here. According to Amy, the rats are bigger than the rat traps. Have you actually seen, Aisling, have you seen any of the rats yourself?
Yeah, I caught 2 in my apartment, Jeremy, since I put traps down. I left my house on Wednesday night at 11:45. I went back Thursday. I got traps or whatever, put one down. Put a few of them down. Went back Friday, there was one in it. Then put more, obviously, down or whatever. There was one in it Saturday. There wasn't one in it yesterday or whatever. But I'm out here now this morning. But yeah, 2 I've caught in. 2, and there's droppings. You can see the droppings as clear as day. I
don't know how you can do it. I
don't do it now. Oh, no, God, I don't do it. Like, you know what I mean? My brother now came up and had to actually take the things out because I couldn't. I run.
You couldn't stomach it.
It has to be. Yeah, grand. Thanks. It has to be. I have to be sorted. Like,
okay, stay there for a second, both of you ladies. Let me go to JP. JP, you're listening to this. You can tell how upset both these mothers are. And you want to try and offer them some assistance?
Yes. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning.
Good morning, Aisling and Amy. Normally, I speak to people on a daily basis about all sorts of pest control, bird control issues, right? So generally people ring up. Sometimes it's very dramatic or they're very in traumatic situations. What I usually ask people is how long they've had the problem. So it sounds like Amy said maybe over a couple of months.
Yes, how long has it been for you, Amy, again?
To be honest with you, I'm not too sure because, as I said, with the wind, my window's still lit. The wind is just so noisy, and I've heard scratching, and I just thought none of it because I just thought it was the wind going through the place.
Just approximately.
I found droppings. I found droppings last week when I pulled everything out of the hot press. So I couldn't tell you how long it's there. I really
and
couldn't.
Then?
I heard scratching about 4 weeks ago, and I thought under the wise of myself, didn't know what it was because the places is in that much of a bad condition, you won't know. But then when Amy I found the rats and all, and we looked then the following morning after I left my gaff, and we could literally see the droppings everywhere. I put my whole hot press out. I had to throw every single thing out my hot press, towels, bedclothes, everything.
Of course, you can't have a child, sleeping in clothes or even wearing clothes.
No, there was actually droppings all over me, towels everywhere, everything. When I pulled everything out, I had to throw them all out.
Sorry, there were rat droppings over your towels in the hot press?
There was rat droppings. When I pulled everything out of my hot press, there was literally rat droppings everywhere, falling out of stuff. No, when I was shaking them or whatever, and you can actually see them all over my hot press.
That's disgusting.
It is.
Can you do anything to help these ladies, JP?
Yeah, first thing is generally do a survey of the building just to work out maybe where the issue is. That's where the source of the issue is, first of all. And the reason I ask how long is the problem is that if it's going on longer than sort of 4 or 5 weeks, there is potential there for rodents to breed. And, pregnant female is a gestation period is only about 3-4 weeks. So they could potentially have...
There could be a family of rats.
But I just thought I don't be too dramatic about it. It is possible to control it. There is no real magic wand. It's good, though, that the rats are getting caught quickly. because rats are neophobic. That means they have a fear of new things that are put in their way. But maybe these guys don't have a food source, so maybe they're going for the traps very quickly.
Can I just say that there has to be an obsession of them, because that literally girl in 2 buildings away from me has heard them, and there's been droppings in her house as well. She actually seen one, but didn't catch it. And if you could see this building, Jeremy, as well, this building is literally huge. Like, it's so big, like that. They're not just like they're literally everywhere. Are your buildings side by side?
My building is, and then 2 buildings away would be Aislinn's building as well, and then another 2 doors away would be where the other woman has heard him. Yeah. She actually has him around her window. Now, we had the HSE, as I said, out on Friday, and he came up, and what he actually said to us was, there's no point in me putting poison into the back of the presses, because they're going to go into the wall and they're going to die under the floorboards, because they're just the buildings are just wooden structure.
And it smelled the whole floor.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but stay there for a second, both of you ladies. After the show, I'm going to put you in contact with JP and see if he can come around to where you are and try and help you out. Councillor Christy Burke is on the line as well. Christy, you're very welcome along to 98FM. How are you?
Not too bad. Good morning. And to Amy and Jamie, whatever you
Amy
do,
and Aisling, yeah.
Amy and Aisling, whatever you do, don't hand up the keys. That's the first thing.
Well, I have to tell you, the other day I was going down in tears, and I was literally going to go to me. I just was going to hand them all back. Because nobody's listening.
Okay, well, we'll make sure they're listening this morning, because while you've been talking, I've been on to the city managers, and I will take it up also with pest control, and I will speak to the assistant housing manager, Brendan Kenny, in the afternoon, in order to try and arrange temporary accommodation. Now, that's not a guarantee, but I will certainly give it me 110% shot for you, because I'm dealing with 4 or 5 similar cases a week as to what you're talking about. And really what I had to laugh at here this morning, I just heard on RTE this morning early that the staff has been put on red alert in Montrose because there's a couple of mice in the building. Yeah. Because they're carrying out renovation work.
and I live with them.
And we're living with rats.
Try and living with rats. And I can only imagine what you're going through, because I have people on hearing them in the walls and the whole lot. Now, they're beautiful buildings there, Jeremy.
Oh, no, I've seen them. They are beautiful buildings, but they're clearly in need of a revamp there, Christy.
And always well kept by the residents and tenants down the last 25 years. Unbelievable. Yeah. But look, I can only imagine the anxiety and the fear that's in the 2 women there. And I will certainly speak with Brendan Kenny. He's the highest ranking housing officer of Dublin City Council. I'll speak with him. I'm on my way to Kells to a HSE meeting, and I will certainly raise pest control also. But in the interim, I will certainly do my utmost to get them temporary accommodation. It may not be the Hilton, but I'll certainly try and get them temporary, because I heard
it's better than where we are.
That's better than nothing, isn't it? Because at the moment,
I'm sleeping on a chair, Jeremy. A chair I'm sleeping on.
Aisling, you're sleeping on a chair?
A chair. I'm sleeping on a chair in my ma's. My ma has a 1-bedroom flat, a single bed in it. She's in the bed with me 5-year-old daughter, and I have to sleep on a chair. There's no room, Jamie. There's no room whatsoever.
Christy, can you answer me a question? They've obviously both contacted the council and the HSE and have got no joy. Why does it take someone like yourself, a public representative, to get the ball rolling and stuff like this? Like, why?
Well, look, that's how we turn into messenger boys and girls. If the council,
I can tell you what the council said to me on Friday. Well, on Friday when we went down, the main foreman and the.
But don't mention any names now. Don't mention any names. Okay.
I'm not going to mention names. I won't mention names. He said to me, "Well, I'll have to get on to my boss and see if it's okay that we can carry out work. We finish at 3:00 today, so we won't be here. You won't hear from us today." Excuse me. I said I need to hear from somebody.
Well, look, I can assure you. I'll speak with Brendan Kenny, the Assistant City Manager, in the next hour or 2. And could I say this, Jeremy, there's been massive development in that area with the Lewis, with student accommodation, there's been brown digging, there's been all sorts, and I've no doubt that it could be stemming from that.
Any time you have building work going on, you would get something like that.
I can understand the fear that's in the 2 women and their families, and the lady who has to go down and stay in her mother's 1-bedroom. But look, give them my number there, Jeremy. You can ring me today.
I will indeed, Christy.
Anytime. If I don't answer, I'm at a meeting. I will get back, as you know. I always do get back.
No, fair play to you. Thanks very much. That's Independent Councillor Christy Burke, and no better man to get the ball rolling on that, girls. So that's a bit of good news. Hopefully we'll have answers.
Please God.
Hopefully something happens. I mean, my ma's is an old folks apartment complex. You know what I mean? Like kids, like it's an old folks apartment, like a one single bed in it.
But you're even, Amy, the reaction, there's a huge reaction to your story of your son not wanting to come home and how that must make you feel as a mother. Yeah. Because obviously as a mother you feel like it's your job.
It's horrible. He's in a very vulnerable year. His first year in secondary school. He's in a very vulnerable year, and he's struggling as it is to get going with secondary school, and it's a big change. And now he's up out of his own home and he's not here.
And he's obviously very upset about the whole thing, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And probably embarrassed as well. I would imagine he doesn't want to tell his friends.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed myself. You know what I mean? It's horrible. It's horrible to say that these things are in the walls. It's horrible.
It's nothing for you to be embarrassed about. They're not, your flats aren't rat infested because you're dirty people or anything like that. That's not the reason. It could happen to anybody. It's a disgrace.
I know.
But it just shows you, talking to the media sometimes speed these things up. So hopefully by this time tomorrow.
That was my last attempt to get somebody to listen. It's a horrible thing to have to do, but it was my last attempt to get somebody to listen and look at the way we are living.
You shouldn't be living like that. Thanks very much for your call, Amy. And Aisling, thanks as well for talking to us. As I said, I know it's something that, a lot of people would be embarrassed about talking about, but there's absolutely no shame when you're talking about it.
No, there's not. There's not. I don't. No, I'm sick of it now at this stage.
How many nights have you slept on the seat, in the chair in your mother's
I'm actually in my ma since Wednesday. I left my house Wednesday and I'm there since.
And where are the children sleeping?
My 5-year-old sleeps in the single bed with me ma, and my little daughter is actually in a travel cot.
So your daughter's sleeping in the travel cot, your son is in the bed.
No, my daughter, she's a 5-year-old. She sleeps in the bed with me ma.
With the granny, and you're sleeping on.
I'm sleeping on a recliner chair.
So you probably haven't even had a good night's sleep.
I'm wrecked. I'm walking around, my eyes just hanging out of my head, Jeremy. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm run down, and I just feel so depressed.
It shouldn't be well, you don't need me to tell you this. Something like this shouldn't be happening. People shouldn't be living in squalor in 2018. We're going to stay in contact with you, Aisling, and hopefully get an update tomorrow.
No problem.
And we're going to pass your details on to Christy Burke and to that guy who works in pest control as well.
No problem.
Thanks very much, Aisling. Thank you. That's the local story for you. Shocking story. And, I'll get to some of your text messages in a moment. But you don't need me. You don't need to hear it from me that this should not be happening in 2018. They are the residents of the flats in Blessington Street, which is in Dublin 7 as far as I'm aware. And as you heard from the ladies themselves, the flats that they're staying in are rat infested. And, when you have young children, when you have toddlers crawling around, you don't need rats in a house. Let me read out some of your text messages. What is happening in this apartment complex is unacceptable. The county council need to do their damn jobs and deal with the rats. These women should go to the newspapers over this. Well, they're after going to 98FM, Anthony, so a lot of people will have heard their story. Thanks for letting me speak. It is possible to control this, says JP, who works for that company, Principal Pest Control as well. We're going to put them in contact. The violins are out, says this person. Are you embarrassed enough to get a job? Would you ever cop on and have a heart, for God's sake? There are 2 women who are only after giving birth in the last year. You don't know their circumstances. I didn't even ask if they have a job or not because it's none of my business. It's none of your business. It has nothing got to do with the story, whether or not they have jobs or not. And one final text. It must be great to have people to complain about your house and expect everything to be done for you, demanding to be put up in temporary accommodation. Try buying a house and having to do everything yourself. To that person, you need to get down off your high horse. Must be great sitting up there in your ivory tower. I don't know if you listened to the news lately about how difficult it is to get on the housing market and how difficult it is to buy an actual house. It's very, very difficult. And you, to that texter who didn't have the balls to come on and face me on the radio, you are obviously in a very lucky position where you have a good job and you were able to get a mortgage. Not everybody is in that position. So rather than looking down your toshy nose at them, how about you show a bit of sympathy for someone who has to move out of their apartment because their child doesn't want to sleep in a room with rats. Oh, these people annoy me.
98FM. This is 98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
Weekdays from 10 a.m. on 98.